and does research in enterprise modeling and workflow design. His paper today is on integrated apparel merchandising business processes for global marketplace.
مش الموضوعات اتغيرت؟
It's a part of research results in this new year. And topic as title mentioned, integrating the apparel merchandising business process for the global marketplaces. Actually, the research concerns much about the coordination and the integration efforts or some mechanisms to control the larger numbers of people or organizational teams in different regions, in different countries. Yeah. Much concern about the concept of globalization. First of all, I would like to give a brief definition of the merchandising. Fundamentally, merchandising, which concerns the business activities like the apparel product development, design forecast, fund appropriate supply, sourcing, and distributes the product to the end market. And in the current business context, we are much concerned about the globalization. Means the market and production place and maybe even logistics work totals in different places. It much depends on how the activities of teams are coordinated and communicated. So here in this research, we much concerned about the effort or effectiveness of the coordination work. Here, describe large numbers of people, enterprises, organizational teams, but in different places, globally dispersed. But all of them are involved to develop, to produce the items and supply them to the end market. All the people actually come together at the very beginning stage of the business. When we are talking about the efficiencies of effectiveness, actually we are talking about the way to handle these people's stimulus at the one constant time. We always say we are much concerned about the consistency along the workflow process. So they are much determined by the way of communications of the coordination work. The motivations. The project actually initiated by Phil's international buying office in Hong Kong because they found that the activities are quite global. Means the end buyer, meaning coming from the America and the European countries, to place orders through the Hong Kong office directly or indirectly to some countries like China, Vietnam now, even in some South American countries. So they try to find a way to improve the current performance because they find a lot of problems, especially in the communication process. They find the merchandising team, the design teams, seems firefighting, always research, find way to resolve the problem daily. They try to find some novel tactics or even technologies or kinds of methods to improve the current situation. In this research, we try to empirically to examine the current issues or the research problem in this study. And in this status, as part of research output, I try to give still suggestions to organize or to categorize the way from the global manager can use it to improve their communications. So I organized the presentations here. First, we focus on the process-based perspective. Means we regarded the merchandising business as a process, activity process or communication process. Means someone from upstream activities to give the information downwards to the downstream activities. But actually, the process is not the exact carry the similar meanings, the upstream or downstream. Actually, they come together. They discuss, they expose ideas simultaneously, actually. We'll discuss the key issues that we find in this research work. And try to categorize the current integration or coordination mechanisms that currently used in the global activities. And finally, we try to present a framework that helps us to understand more about the way to implement better or effective mechanisms or organizational systems to handle these issues. A general introduction is about what people generally regarded activities of supply pipeline. In common sense, it defines the material start at the very beginning process, meaning the raw material processing, finishing, and then pass to become manufacturing, distribution, eventually to our retail market. As a physical frozen period. So in sense, we will try to organize all these activities in this way. But however, based on our observations, we found it's totally different. Actually, all the people, all the teams in these sectors or in different enterprises actually should come together at the very beginning to design everything and coordinate all the work. So we use another flowchart to indicate their ways of communication. We emphasize work terminologies of interdependencies. Means people are unable to make decisions or take actions before they communicate with the other counterparties. They got some advice and fine-tune the idea and maybe adjust their understanding so that they make some decisions for the local or new product development for the future market. Because business is business. They come together to discuss what would happen in the future, not the right moment. Just examples. Design team, marketing team, technical math come together to guess what would happen in coming 3 months or few months, and guess what the market demands in the coming seasons. They just guess based on their own perspective. So they exchange their idea, their opinion. Often they impose their own constraints or concerns about the process. So actually all the people quite interdependent and interacting during the whole process of operating license activity. Process interdependency. Large people come together in different countries, in different organizations. We use the term collaboration, means the cooperation work quite sometimes quite abstract, we can say so, because just for example, a designer just give an idea to the technical people that I want the color more energetic, more brighter for the youth market. But however, the technical team has to understand what the energetic color means, or how bright is suitable for the young youth market. So the information actually quite abstract. Design, sometimes they should come together to communicate lots of informal data or information. The operations are much interdependencies. You can emerge as another examples, like Bannington's worldwide, they design the idea, the product concept. They emphasize the consistency. So when we visit a European market, to America or even to Hong Kong, the Eastern countries, they find the product concept of quick consistency. They control every work of design at the very beginning business. Laura Ashley and Walmart, all these retail store carry the similar concept. They focus on business consistency. Some emphasize on the quality, even the price and also premium price, right? And sometimes they make decisions together. They emphasize on consistency. They emphasize on decentralization. This allows certain levels of flexibility so that the team can fit their own market in different cases because of difference of slight difference in terms of the consumer's requirement. In sense, now not academics or even the field participants like use the term the virtual advertising because they regard the whole process can be decided as one system. Means one organization controls all the operations, the activities worldwide. Streaming is just one company. All the teams communicate virtually. Of course, physically they are not located together. So we try to manage cross-country supply activity and emphasize on centralization. And it brings out not another issues like how the data or the information is passed from one consultation to another one, or how the data is retrieved from the past record, but in another country. So now lots of people place lots of efforts to improve this work. So in the investigations, we found a few issues. They emphasize the integrations, means each activities it support the others one, and but however at the very beginning stage or phase of this cycle, merchandising cycles, all the information is quite abstract, not quite consistent. Just examples I mentioned before that they think about product that fit for future, what kinds of products should be. They just make a guess, maybe some wild guess. So different people have different ideas. They communicate, they exchange their opinion. Sometimes not so perfect actually. And also they face the situation that because of the competitiveness today fashion textile market, seems all the buyers or even the every kinds of people in this supply chain try to make the decisions at the last minute, probably because of the issues of the safety, and also just examples. If you are asked to make a forecast for the forthcoming weekend weather, I think it may be more accurate. You make such guess on Friday rather than on today, Monday, right? So they make the decisions quite late. So much it depends on the other people to support them. Means the other people should work
quickly. So the quick response in general sense means the last minute response. So the information, the opinion becomes very critical because at the last minute, each one communicated. They presume to make a right decision at the last moment. So the information flow and the document record or document systems should be effective. So Dept first to implement the kind of system, organizational form that allow the every people in organizations can learn and understand each other, or maybe from the other team. Then sometimes employs kinds of training, maybe use some sort of technologies to standardize the communication work, like Walmart or Marks and Spencer try to standardize the workflow process, try to specify everything so that they can communicate in a consistent way. And one point is quite interesting. All these people come together to communicate, but at the same levels, means that no one can make a final say. Seems that there are no, what we say is a big leader can final and control everything. Actually, there are no integrator, no controller. Sometimes this makes a consensus or even to pitch another one to work in the idea. So formal communication work sometimes doesn't work. We fix a meeting, we fix a time in the morning to make a video conference, teleconference. But however, so we find that such kinds of the communication process that doesn't work. Maybe too early, maybe not everyone's ready to supply the idea or the information. So we try to find a way to improve the current situation. And we find another issue. Places, those consistent, for example, Walmart each year, they buy similar commodities for their market. But however, each year they change a little bit because of the fashion issues, because of the trend. Maybe consumers would like to have some new. Actually, the activities in each season, in each year, are totally different. So team much characterized by the expert knowledge, the judgment. They improvise, they make decisions by their own professional sense and contribute their own idea and discuss anything before the dynamic market. So again, the information is quite difficult to specify or standardize in our normal document work. Just examples, maybe a buyer, a designer gives us a fax, says, I would like the kinds of style, this kinds of fabric. However, the technical teams may say such kinds of fabrics may be too expensive. Marketing teams may not be accepted. So much depends on the communication in sense of the collaboration. The work are quite informal. So how the interface becomes the critical point to improve the coordination and to improve the way of work in the whole supply pipeline. So in coming sessions, we try to categorize all the mechanisms or the way to coordinate together to see which one would be more appropriate for different activities. Because as mentioned before, our market changed. our design tasks sometimes are totally different from what used in previous year or previous seasons. So some different mechanisms may be useful in different contexts. In general, so we've got two different mechanisms. The first is one, the integrations enabler. Those tools try to promote or establish effective infrastructures for teams to regulate the exchange of the information. And some regarded as a keep track of the consistency in the act of the process of merchandising and the design work. And again, so we found two different types, general types of mechanism. One much focused on the technologies, especially today the information technologies. And others focus on the interactions between people, because they find a face-to-face communication can make the concept more visual. Means they can go into details to discuss what would be the product would be. So we categorize all the mechanisms in this way. Here I don't mention them in details because of time. One point that we emphasize the view of contingencies. In sense means we must be alert about the changes in market requirement. So we should select different types of mechanisms accordingly. In our business, textile and fashion, we can categorize the two main types of design work. Some for higher market, some for the mass market, but still with fashion carry the sense of change. Here we find some way to describe the context for these two markets. The ways of the communications, the ways of the distribution, the product characteristics in terms of the value to our consumer, how they make the coordination work, and how they communicate it, or the ways that they use to communicate it, and how they control the supplier, and or maybe supervise or support the supplier work, and how they perceive novelty or a sense of the new product. High-end fashion emphasizes on trend, concept, distinctiveness.
I'm customizing. Mass market focus on the brand value, like that. And we serve the market through resourceful sales team and that one. So sometimes quite value oriented. Here, we design a framework to organize all these control mechanisms or integration mechanisms. We try to design two contextual dimensions of the issues. The first one, the vertical one, we emphasize after the
you.